Welcome to the Wavy Plus original show, Sense and Sensibility, where we discuss smart savings, strategies, and basic financial principles that my guest and I have used both successfully and unsuccessfully as we move towards a better future. I'm your host, Laura Oliver from afrugalchick.com, where I have been helping people live well without going broke since 2009. So as you plan your year, let's take a look at what items are best to purchase in March. And to be honest, March is a little boring on the deal shopping front. The little leprechauns, they just want to keep all that gold for themselves and not really share it. But if taxes are your thing, we do see promotions for software and services as that April 15th deadline looms. And towards the month's end, you'll start to see some gardening and outdoor equipment sales. But really, April is your big month for that. March is National Frozen Food Month. So in previous years, we have seen the grocery stores really lean into that promotion. So something like buy 10 items and save 25%, but it's a really good chance to fill your freezer. But what saves March just from being a black hole with no deals is two major holidays. March 14th is Pie Day, and it is a highlight of the month. Many retailers that feature round food, including baked pies and pizza pies, offer deep discounts. And often those same products will be discounted at the grocery store, meaning you can grab a few of them marked down and save them for later. That way, you have a pizza for the night at your house that you don't feel like cooking, which at least at our house usually ends up being that night or the very next. We have never had a pizza in the freezer that had freezer burn. And then there is March 17th, the day that many choose to celebrate their DNA results showing that they are 3% Irish. St. Patrick's Day has a long list of places that offer discounted corned beef, green drinks, and themed donuts. It's a great evening to celebrate and to try to avoid being pinched. Now let's go to our segment, Confessions of the Frugal and Shameless. This confession is from NoLight310 on Reddit, and honestly, I have thought about doing this one. I haven't done it yet, but I have thought about it. This is one of those items at a restaurant that is a complete ripoff. I would never do this in a restaurant, but drive-through takeout, yes. My girlfriend's ex would bring a slice of cheese to work to put on the hamburgers that he would buy for lunch. He thought paying extra for cheese was crazy when he could buy a huge package from Costco for a few cents per slice. I support this 100%. If I get a to-go burger and I can take it home and turn it into a cheeseburger, I'm going to do that. If you were looking to take a financial step ahead for March, ask this question. When was the last time you pulled your credit report? Was it when you bought your house 6 years ago? Did a lender pull it for you when you got a loan and you just took their word for it that everything was okay? Did you know that you can pull it for free annually? The United States government allows you one free copy of your credit report every 12 months from each of the credit reporting companies. As of right now, the only way to be 100% sure that it's free is to use annualcreditreport.com. They will give you copies from every agency to compare, and they won't try to sell you any products. Many other places you can pull it for free, but then you're going to get emails and they're going to try to sell you things. There are 3 credit bureaus that track your information: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And you should find the information on all 3 to be similar, but it rarely is 100% identical. It may only be different by a few points, but if you see your score is on the border, one score might push you over the top, so it's good to look at all 3. Basically, your credit report shows all your interactions with credit and debt over the past years. Some items stay on the report for 2 years and some for up to 7 years. And it does show both good and bad interactions. Along with a notice for each on-time payment, it also shows late payments. Now, do know they have to be 30 days late at least before they go in your credit report. It will show delinquent or defaulted loans, items in collections, unpaid tax liens, foreclosures, and bankruptcy. So that time you decide to skip your credit card payment and buy an expensive pair of shoes will follow you for approximately 7 years. If you have failed to pay something on time, a creditor may turn your account over to a collections agency. In most instances, you have to be at least 3 months late. Your creditor can either assign your account to a debt collector or sell it outright. Either way, they only get a portion of what you pay, so they would prefer to collect it themselves during that first 3 months. The interesting thing about collections is that there is no rule requiring debt collectors to report your collection account to the bureaus. Reporting is completely up to the creditor or the collection agency. If they report it, you will see the word collection somewhere on your report. But even if you're not considering a new loan, pulling your reports annually is important to help you watch for mistakes. With identity theft becoming more prominent, it is good to keep an extra eye out. So if you find an error, here's what you can do. Dispute an item. You can do this online. Each credit bureau does it differently, but they will walk you through it step by step. And then they will reach out to the lender, who has up to 40 days to respond. This process may feel like it takes forever, but the bureau will contact you once it's reached a conclusion. If you haven't heard within 60 days, follow up. This can be incredibly frustrating if you find multiple mistakes, but it's important to stay on top of it. Freeze your credit and or put on a fraud alert. A mistake on your report could just be a clerical error, but it could also be fraud. And if you're not sure what it is, you may want to put a freeze on your credit. This puts your report on lockdown so no one can pull it. The credit bureaus will usually give you a passcode, and you can use that to contact them and to lift the freeze. As of September 2018, the Federal Trade Commission requires that freezes are free. A fraud alert is simpler. It just sends a notice to anyone who pulls your credit to verify your identity, and most good lenders will do that anyway. Knowing how to place or lift a security freeze on your credit report can be a valuable tool for your future self. Freezing your credit can help you protect your personal information from fraud and from identity thieves. And even if someone has your social security number, your date of birth, and your driver's license, it can prevent them from opening new accounts in your name. It also prevents the credit bureaus from selling your information for marketing. Your credit report is often used by insurance companies to determine your rates, to open credit accounts, for businesses running background checks, or any other entity that needs your consumer's credit history to determine eligibility for an opportunity. Creditors use it as a gauge of your creditworthiness when you take on debt. So if you choose to have a credit score, it needs to be a high one. Since I froze mine a few years ago, I have received fewer credit card offers. Having that credit lock ensures that my credit score stays secure, and I get fewer credit card applications in the mail. Another important thing freezing your score does is stop you from making impulsive credit decisions. When they ask you at checkout if you want to open a store card and save 10%, it is an absolute pain to go online and unfreeze your credit with a line building up behind you. It means every decision you make is considered carefully before you do it. So how do I freeze my credit? It's easy enough. You can do it on all 3 credit bureaus. Depending on the criteria, someone may or may not be able to open a new line if only one of them is frozen. So according to the Consumer Financial Bureau, they must place the freeze within 1 business day if you request it online or by phone. You can also submit the request by mail, and once it's received, they have 3 days. So here are the things that you will need to freeze your credit: your full name, your social security number, your date of birth, your current address, previous addresses, and then some creditor or bank information, because they are going to ask you some security questions. And that credit freeze will stay in place until you lift it. You can lift it temporarily whenever you want or need to. Some bureaus may ask you to create a personal identification number to make the freezing and unfreezing easier. So how do you unfreeze your credit? If you ever want to apply for a new credit account, unfreezing is about as easy as freezing is. When I begin considering a new loan, right before I apply, I go online and unfreeze for 24 hours. It's the same URL that you use for freezing, and if they require a PIN, I just make sure I have it written down somewhere to use. With all this information, what should you be doing? First, if any details have slipped your mind, you can head to frugalchick.com resources to find everything laid out for you. So mark your calendar. March 14th is Pi Day and March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. These are great days to celebrate deals. If you've not already in the past 12 months, pull your free credit report. Check to make sure there are no errors, no outstanding accounts you don't recognize, or other issues. If you find mistakes, begin the process of filing a dispute. Only about 5% of people find an error in their report, and most often they're things like misspellings or incorrect information. When I worked in banking, the most common ones I saw were people with names that ended in junior, senior, or first, second, and third. And then freeze your credit to protect yourself on all 3 of the bureaus. You can head to afrugalchick.com and sign up for our daily newsletter. It arrives at your inbox at 10 a.m. with the best deals of the day. And check out A Frugal Chick on Instagram and Facebook. This is Laura Oliver from afrugalchick.com. Keep living well without going broke.